Hey friends, this is our last day to talk about brown bear, and I see colors. And I hope that after all this practicing this week that you've learned to read 2 new sight words. I hope that you have learned how to read the word I, the word see, and really even the word A. Even though that wasn't a sight word that we were learning this week, it's one that we probably already know, so we've been using it. All right, we're gonna think back to the story of Brown Bear, and we're gonna do one more animal today. And I want you to think about the character in the story that is a frog. And I want you to think about what color is the frog, because that's the sentence we're going to write today. We're gonna write a sentence about the frog in the story, and I want you to see if you can be remembering what color is the frog. Now, I'm gonna show you my sentence, and it's gonna have the color word in the sentence already. And it's gonna start with the letter G. So when I see the color word that starts with G, I'm gonna be thinking, G says G, 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 G. So I'm gonna be thinking of a color of a frog that starts like G. And I'm thinking about the color word green. Is that what you're thinking about? If you're thinking about green, you're thinking about the right color. All right, so when we get ready to write a sentence, we have to think about words that we already know, and we know how to spell them, and we know how to write them. And there are 3 that we already know that we have learned this week. And I'm gonna look at my sentence right here and see if I can find them. I'm gonna circle this word, and I want you to say that word. What is this word? I hope you said I. I'm going to circle this word, S-E-E. Can you say the sight word? That's right, the word is see. Good job. And I'm going to circle this word. Now this one can be a letter or a word, just like I, but in this sentence, it's a word. Did you say A? All right, very good. Now I'm gonna circle this one, not because it's a sight word, but because it's a word that we know. So I'm gonna circle any words that we already know. And we've already figured out that this is the color word green. So when you come back to school in a few weeks, you're gonna get your yellow crayon out, and you're going to circle and color your sight words, just like Miss Kelly. So I'm gonna color I, so that when I see it, I will remember that it's a sight word. I'm gonna color C. That's gonna help me remember when I touch it that S-E-E spells see. And I'm going to color A, because that's a word that I already know, and it is a sight word. All right, now, I'm not gonna color this one yellow because this one is not a sight word, but it's a color word. So I'm going to color the color that it matches it. And we decided that green begins with a G, and frogs are green. So I'm gonna color this word green, so that I can remember when I'm making my sentence that I see a green frog. All right, so I've got my sight words colored yellow, I see an A, and I've got my color word colored green. And now I'm ready to cut. Before we cut, let's look at sentences, and let's remember the 3 rules for sentences. Sentences begin with a capital letter. That means the first word is capital. Sentences end with a period. That means the last thing in the sentence is a period. And sentences have spaces between our words, and we call those finger spaces. And we use 2 when we're in kindergarten because we have little fingers. So we're gonna use 2 finger spaces. And now I'm going to cut my sentence because I want it to be a cut up sentence. And I'm gonna cut on the finger spaces, never in the middle of a word. We would never, ever cut the letters in our word. So we're gonna go to the finger space and cut. Finger space, cut. And I'm gonna do that for all of my words. I have to be really careful when I'm using scissors, and we're gonna learn how to use scissors when you come to kindergarten. I can't wait. Okay, I'm gonna put my sentence back up, but it's gonna be all mixed up. It won't be in the right order. All right, now my sentence is all mixed up, and I need to put it back together. And to put it back together, I have to remember the rules of a sentence. I have to remember that sentences begin with a capital letter. That's what I'm going to think about. My sentence begins with a capital letter, and I'm going to look down here and see if I can find a capital letter. And I can find the word I is capital. I. So I'm going to take I, and I'm going to go all the way to the edge, and I'm going to put I right here. And then I'm going to think about what is my sentence. I see a green frog, and I'm going to go back and touch to see which word comes next. I see. That's exactly right. So see if you can find the word see. It's not the letter C, it's the word see. S-E-E. Do you see it? There it is. I'm going to put my 2 fingers down. I'm not going to cover up I with my fingers. I'm going to put C right next to it. Now I'm going to go back and read. Very important writing rule. Go back and read. I see. What comes next? I bet you said A. There's our sight word A. I see A. And I put my fingers down. I don't cover up any letters. And A goes next. Now I'm going to go back and read and see which word comes next. I see a... What color word are you thinking about? We're writing about a frog, so are you thinking about green? We gave ourselves a clue. We colored it so that we could remember it. I'm going to put my 2 fingers here and glue green. All right, now we're going to go back and read to see which word comes last. Now, I already know which word should come last because I've already noticed that it has a period. And periods always go at the end of sentences, which means last. So I know that this is the right word that goes last. I just need to go back and read so I remember what that word is, because sentences are always going to make sense. I see a green. And what was the character in the book? That's right, it was a frog. So this is the word frog. So I'm going to take frog. I'm going to use 2 finger spaces, and I'm going to glue frog right there. And friends, I cannot wait for you to get to school so that you can have your very own cut up sentence. You can put it together, and then you can go back and read it to see if it's right. Let's do that right now before we go. I see a green frog. And we did a great job getting our words in order. All right, friends, I've enjoyed learning about the characters in the story Brown Bear this week. And I'm so proud that you have learned to read really 3 sight words this week. I, C, and A. Great work, friends. Have a good weekend. Bye.